So guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to this League Player Shoji player review. This card was released at 6 PM today and the way you get it is by scoring 2 goals with a player from each team in the League One in separate games. It's another one of them very long, tedious milestone objectives, but you guys know me. As soon as they're released, I grind them out and I bring you guys the content. So if you could leave a like rating on this video, that would be very much appreciated. In this video, obviously we're going to focus on this centre-back to see if he's a card worth having in your team. And straight away, there is an issue with having this guy in your team. And you can see from the backline of the squad that we're using him in. Unless you're mega rich and can afford loads of icons, this guy is not easy to get into high level teams, which is very unfortunate. So that's why our backline isn't super amazing in this squad. But hopefully this card still can stand out for us and put in some good performances, because on face value it actually looks like a pretty solid item. Anyway, before we get into this player review, if you guys could leave a like rating on this video, that would be very much appreciated. In the comment section down below, let me know your thoughts on this item, also the milestone objective itself. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I upload stuff like this on a regular basis, so I'd appreciate the support. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get into things. Let's focus now on this item. So he's a 6 foot tall centre back, which is a decent height. He's got high work rates, which obviously isn't ideal for a centre back. He's got a 4-star weak foot though, which is pretty nice for a defender. His card attributes actually look really solid. He's got very good pace of 85, pretty good dribbling as well for a defender of 75, also decent passing of 70. Good defending of 84 and pretty high physical stats of 86. The in-game attributes look pretty awesome too. There are some very nice stats on show on this screen. Look at that pace column. This guy's got 91 sprint speed. That's absolutely mad. In-game, once this guy gets going into his full sprint, this guy should be absolutely rapid and should have no issues tracking back to defend. His passing attributes are pretty interesting. He's got pretty low vision, but he's got a 93 short passing rating and a 92 long passing rating, which is pretty mad. Those are some incredible passing attributes, but I do feel like the vision could hinder his distribution from the back. If you understand how vision works in FIFA, then you'll understand why that could be. It's just basically his range of passing that could be affected. His dribbling stats for a centre-back are pretty good, to be honest. Really good reactions of 96, very high composure of 90, and very good balance of 93. And then we come on to his defensive stats, which look good, but nothing too spectacular. That's why we're going to use an Anchor Chem style on him. He's got 82 interceptions, 87 defensive awareness, 85 stand tackle, and 79 slide tackle. Like I said, those defensive stats are good, but they're not spectacular. But with the Anchor Chem, obviously all of them do get a decent boost, so that's pretty awesome. Finally, physically, some pretty insane stats once more. Really good jumping of 87, 90 stamina is great to see, 86 strength is also awesome, and so is the 82 aggression. On paper, I actually think this card looks very good for a free item, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it performs in game. It's just a shame he's so hard to get into a top level backline of teams. I think I've messed it up and that didn't make full sense, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Anyway, let's get into some matches. Let's see how we get on with the Japanese centre-back. Okay, so for Shoji's debut, we come up against a pretty interesting side. I'm going to imagine that this guy's going to make some subs early on for his German striker and centre mid, but yeah, quite a creative side, and that's actually quite refreshing to see in FUT Champs, to be honest. Uh-oh, don't like that. Chance for my opponent to come forward. Can we get a touch on him? Nice tackle there from the Japanese CB. Now, maybe, just maybe we can get a breakaway. Oh, well done, Shoji. Won that just, but somehow, like, all my players have just refused to go to the ball there. We've lost possession. Oh, Mane's got past him. Kimpembe saves. Chance. Havertz going to try and get down this wing, but as we know, Shoji is very quick. Okay, so there's the whistle for the break. Unfortunately, on the stroke of half-time, we did concede a long shot, and we are 1-0 down. Been a pretty close first half, to be honest. Nothing too much to report, but hopefully in the second 45, we can indeed mount a comeback. I'm actually going to bring Acuna on at right back just to help cover that right side up. In fact, you know what? He can go on the left and Mendy can go on the right because he's got that 5-star weak foot. Well, we just got a random DC at 1-1. So, yeah, nice one, EA servers. Okay, so for the next game we come up against this. Pretty interesting side. Couple of players off chem, but some pretty OP players in this guy's starting 11. Oh, I don't like that. Don't like that. Luckily, Shoji positions himself well. And do we clear? What the hell? What can I do there? I was pressing to clear the ball and Martial's like kind of put the ball in the net. Oh, Shoji, just in the right place at the right time. Clearance wasn't convincing, but he stopped them getting a tap in. Okay, so at half time, the score's 1-1, and yeah, as you can expect, I'm a bit annoyed about that. Don't think we deserve to be level at the break. I feel like we should be ahead, but hopefully in the second half we can get a goal or two and take that lead, I guess. So fingers crossed for that. Oh, nice interception by Shoji there.
Now let's see what they can do here. Passing it around with aplomb. Walker.
How has that got all the way through? Jeez, nice clearance there by Shoji, but he originally got held off the ball. Oh, get to that! Oh, just. Oh, clearance is not great. Got ourselves in a bit of trouble there. But... Oh, nice. Shoji, in the end, comes up big for us. That was really shifty defense from me in the end, but we get the job done. So it was a 2-1 win in this game, and to be honest, it should have been 2-0. I'm a bit annoyed about the goal we conceded, but nonetheless, I guess it is what it is. We got the win, and that's the most important thing. How do I think Shoji did in this game? In the first half, he didn't seem all that great, to be honest. Missed a few tackles, which was a bit annoying. But in the second half, he came up big with some key interceptions and some key tackles. So it was a game of two halves, I guess, for the Japanese centre-back in this match. The next team we face has a team which looks like this. He's starting in the 4-2-4 formation and doesn't really have any like defensive mids in the starting 11. So I'm very intrigued to see how he runs with this team. Surely he doesn't play 4-2-4, right? Here's Harry Kane. Seeing what he can do, but Shoji's just going to come and hunt him down if he's not going to come forward. And now we're going to look for some space.
He's on 599 goals now. Treads it through.
Going to score off it as well. Nice goal. Oh, Aubameyang, 600th goal. Nice. And at 1-0, my opponent decides to quit. Okay. So for our next game, my opponent clearly likes the league SBCs because he's got Maulida, Niakate and Bahabek, who are some pretty good French league SBC items. He's also got a very strong starting 11, so this could be a pretty interesting challenge. It's nice to actually come up against these teams tonight. Like normally I come up against like the same team over and over in champs, but tonight it's been like an all sorts of different opposition squads. Niakate, oh, tackle wasn't superb by anyone. Hey, well done Shoji. Nice tackle, and now he's going to bring the ball forward for us. Oh, nice block, but the rebound has resulted in a goal. Oh, big tackle there. Didn't know too much about it, but it got done. Why are my players just not responding right now? So at half-time, the score is 1-0 to my opponent. Not the best first half from us, but hopefully in the second half we can create enough chances to get ourselves the win in this game. Oh, nice strength there by Shoji. Just put Niakate to the floor. Nice tackle there by Shoji. Some really good aggression to win the ball. Yes, nice win of the header. Oh, David Villa just couldn't control it. Sissoko! Oh, someone get up and shoot. Oh, unfortunately we couldn't find a winner within 90 minutes. My opponent's goalkeeper has absolutely killed me in this second half. I'm going to be really annoyed if we don't go on to get the win in this match. And I'm very worried that I won't because, you know, foot champs. Oh, Shoji's got... Oh, Shoji recovered well there. Unfortunately, guys, at full time we couldn't get the job done, and we went on to lose the game, sadly, which is really frustrating because yeah, his goalkeeper pretty much kept him in it. I suppose my finishing could have been better, but like the saves Oblak was pulling off in that game was just mad. Like that's one of them games where I feel like if I was using my proper weekend league team, I'd have easily won that game, but wasn't to be. No point being too angry about it, I guess. Shoji in that game was pretty solid for most part though, made plenty of tackles and blocks, which was good. Also aerially, put in a good showing as well. His positioning was a bit suspect though, but that's to be expected from a centre-back with high work rates. So after playing around with the Japanese centre-back in my backline for a few more matches, what's the verdict on this card? Look, if you want a quick summary, I thought this card was good and very usable, but I don't think it's a fantastic item if I'm being honest. The card definitely has some pretty good qualities about it, but it's also got a couple of things that do indeed hold it back, and we're going to discuss them right now. So let's first break things down by talking about this guy's pace. He is rapid, he is very freaking quick for a defender, and that is obviously a very big positive, especially in FIFA 20, because we've got many fast centre-backs, and this guy is right up there with some of the fastest. Especially when a player breaks through the defensive line, this guy has a very high chance of being able to catch them up because, yeah, his sprint speed is pretty mad in game. Takes him a bit of time, obviously, to get to his max speed, but once he gets there, he's very quick. His passing was good, but it wasn't as good as the in-game stats do indeed suggest. Obviously, he's got some pretty insane short and long passing stats, but due to his low vision, you can't really make the most of those attributes sometimes. Now, I believe the way the vision stat works in FIFA is it's all about the way that the player is facing. So if this guy's passing in a straight line and he's facing in that way, the pass is going to be fine. But if he's facing that way and he's passing that way, if that makes sense, there's a chance that the pass won't be as successful. It's all about the player's point of view on the field. So with that in mind, it's not always super easy to distribute with this item because it doesn't have that range of passing ability. I hope that makes sense. You know what I'll do? I'm going to leave a link in the comments and description to an article about how vision works in FIFA to help you guys understand it a bit more if you are unsure about it. Anyway, let's move on. This guy's dribbling. Very good for a centre-back. He feels pretty comfortable in possession for a defender. Wouldn't use him in midfield. I don't think his dribbling's that good, but for a CB, relatively solid. And he reacts pretty quickly to situations as well, which is nice. Defensively, how was this guy? Good, but not great, and this is where that whole summary comes into things. Made plenty of blocks and interceptions for me, which was nice. His tackling was good, but I didn't think it was great. He's one of them players who he might put in a tackle, but it might always not be a fully success. He's not like fully committed to the tackle at times, which seems a bit annoying. His side tackle seemed alright. Obviously, we have to touch on this guy's work rates and positioning as a whole. For most part, it was good, but you can definitely tell he's got higher work rates because when you're attacking, this guy does like to advance out of that back line. So if you lose the ball while attacking, he's not going to be sat in that centre-back role where you want him all the time, which can be a bit annoying. So if you're going to use this guy, you definitely want a centre-back partner next to him that has medium high or low high work rates. Physically, don't really have too many problems with this card, to be honest. I thought his aerial ability was great. Stamina, fantastic for a centre-back. This guy never seemed to be tired for me. Strength was very good in game for most part, but his aggression isn't as high as some other centre-backs, and you can feel that in game, especially when he comes up against strong, aggressive attackers. But for most part, I thought this card was solid, and as I say, it's definitely a usable card, but it's not one that you need in your teams right now, if I'm being honest. Thought this card was good, but I don't think it's up there with like the top tier elite centre-backs in the game, unfortunately, despite how good some of this guy's in-game stats do indeed suggest. It's a pretty solid card, like I say, but it's not in that elite tier of centre-backs, unfortunately. But yeah, if you run with a League One team, I guess it could be classed as a must-have, but if you run with any other kind of team, then I probably wouldn't focus on getting this card in your club too quickly, unless you're obviously a collector. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on the 86 rated Shoji item. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you have, please do leave a like rating on this video. If you've got any questions about this card, pop them in that comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.